So this is a cross screen. The Cavaliers don't defend properly. Here's your cross screen right here. This player's man is setting the screen, needs to jam Joel Embiid as he comes through the cross screen so that this player can get on the other side and play him one-on-one. When you don't jam the player coming through the cross screen, okay, look what happens. Now this player's not able to get on the other side, and now you've got a double Joel Embiid, okay? And when that happens, we have problems. There's a miscommunication then here because there's got to be communication. Someone's got to say, I got ball, I got this guy, or I got ball, I got that guy. But this all really started when the Cavaliers defended that cross screen so poorly, and you see it's going to eventually lead to a two-shot foul for Philadelphia. So with Joel Embiid, okay, one, you can't sag. Okay, look at this defensive player sagging. Okay, that can't happen because look, you just give Joel Embiid real estate without having to fight for it. Look at how low he gets because you sagged. Okay, so here's how you need to defend this play. Okay, one, there's no sagging. You're up, and what are you doing? You're forcing him to the middle of the floor. This player should not be out beyond the three-point line. We need him to drop in a step, okay? And so when Joel Embiid comes this way, I stunt, I recover back out easily, right? But you got to bring him to the middle of the floor. You can't sag, and you got to bring him to the middle of the floor where there should be gap help right here, okay? You bring him to the right. You bring him to the middle of the floor. There's gap help right here. But again, you sag. You allow him to go away from where your gap help is, so it just becomes too easy at that point, and it leads to a layup. This is off of a make right here for Cleveland. First of all, look at these players lollygagging back. You have got to sprint back, okay? Everybody, sprint back. Like what? Okay, so there's lollygagging. The other thing is that we got multiple guys just walking down the middle of the floor, okay? Like right here, Darius Garland's communicating, okay? So this player's got to come over immediately. You got to stop the ball, okay? So right now, why is this player here? I can see his shoes. The camera doesn't get him. He should be over stopping the ball. That's your first goal, okay? And then now I'm stopping the ball much earlier. This player here can't be running down the line. Again, you get cross-matched in transition. It gets communicated. So now this player comes over to take ball, okay? This player then who's running down, you don't get to random spots on the floor. You get back to bodies in transition. So right here, as opposed to this player running straight down the line here, no, he's sprinting back to get to this man right here. Because you're not getting back to random spots on the floor. You got to get back to bodies. So there's lollygagging getting back. Then guys are just getting to random spots on the floor. The communication's terrible. And what does that lead? Wide open catch and shoot three. This is awful transition defense again. All right, let's take a look what happens here. So Tobias Harris, this player can't get to Tobias Harris. Okay? You know who can? Lauri Markkanen. You get cross-matched in transition all the time. Lauri Markkanen has ball. Okay? So what this player needs to be doing, Lauri Markkanen has to communicate, I got ball, and this player's got to be sprinting back to this man right here. Okay? But look what happens here. This player's just going towards Tobias Harris, who he can't get to, and it doesn't matter because Lauri Markkanen's guarding him anyways. Okay? So we got two guys going to the ball. So now when the ball gets swung there, everyone shifts. We got two guys shifting then we got two guys shifting there, okay? And it's going to lead to a pass right back to Tobias Harris and an and one. That's really bad transition defense. Drop coverage is terrible. Okay, first, drop coverage is awful. But what is this player doing? Again, your back should be to the sideline. So when the skip pass gets made, you're easily able to get out on the air time of that pass. So, again, this passing angle is really easy because you're in this stupid drop coverage. But look, I mean, this player is defending in no man's land. Open up, back to the baseline. So you're seeing ball and seeing man. Right now you're not seeing man. And what happens, it leads to an open catch and shoot three. Now, just, how I would have defended this ball screen, you know what I would have done, right? This big is up. I'm pushing this guard out towards half court. Now it's easy backside help right here. Okay? And if a skip pass is made here, it's an easy recovery. I'm keeping this guard out of the lane. But again, it doesn't matter. This player, what are you doing defensively here? see ball, see man. Back to the baseline. None of those things happen, so it's a wide open catch and shoot three. A horrendous switch by the Cavaliers. Okay, again, if you're Kevin Love, you got to be up more and ready to guard. And then two, you look at how this player is switching over the top of the screener. Right now, here comes the ball screen. Boom. I'm underneath the screener. One, because now Kevin Love actually has a chance guarding on the perimeter. Because what's he going to do? I'm underneath the screener. I'm in the gaps. So Kevin Love can force him to the middle of the floor, and he'll have no driving lane. There'll be no place for him to go. But Kevin Love sags way too much. This player switches over the top instead of underneath, and so now James Harden can just get right to the rim and draw a two-shot foul. Horrible ball screen defense right here. Again, first of all, if you're going under a ball screen, this big should always be up and jamming the screener so this player has a much easier route to take. But the ball screen set so far out, it doesn't matter. Okay? So look at this. Rajon Rondo's underneath the screen. Where is Kevin Love going? Okay? If you're going under, you're not showing. I don't know if this is a miscommunication on a switch. Like right now, Rondo's over here and ready to guard. Kevin Love, stay here. Where are you going? What? Like now he's all the way at the free throw line, so now his man is just wide open for a catch and shoot three. What the heck is that? Again, this is why drop coverage is awful. Look at this. You're in drop coverage, so you're just giving this guard the lane, defending this ball screen. And what's he going to do? He's just going to get right to the rim, and it's going to be a two-shot foul. So again, hedge, please. Okay? Ball screen set. No, Kevin Love isn't dropping. He's up. He's pushing this guard this way. This guard's coming here to close this up so he can't split through the hedge, okay? Now my backside help can get really, 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 really aggressive, okay, on this roll right here. Because this player here can easily sink down and guard both players two passes away because, again, we've pushed this guard out towards half court, okay? But this drop coverage is just atrocious. It's the worst ball screen defense coverage imaginable. Okay, the big here cannot allow DeAndre Jordan to just, look at this right here. See how these two bigs are just chilling? No. You've got to be battling for real estate all the time. Right now, you got to be pushing DeAndre Jordan outside the block. Just always. That you cannot be just rest. Look at how he's just resting here. Okay? Like right now, DeAndre Jordan's inside the block. You got to be pushing him out, battling for real estate. Okay? Because what happens now? Okay? You allow DeAndre Jordan to just stand inside the block. So now when James Harden misses this, look at this. Look at how low you let DeAndre Harden get, even though you're boxing him out. So now he's just able to tap it back and put it in. Okay, first of all, this player doesn't need to be so far in, okay? Like right here, the ball's at the top of the key. You standing with a foot on the elbow, let's zoom in. You standing with just 1 foot on the elbow will suffice, okay? You don't need to have both feet inside the elbow. 1 foot on the elbow will suffice. There's still going to be no driving lane. If Joel Embiid comes this way, you can stunt and recover. But also the problem is it's stunt and recover. It's not stunt and gamble. Look at how this player is going to gamble here. Okay? Watch this. Look at that. See that gamble right there? That he's not trying to get out. If he's just sprinting out to the three-point line, he's got a pretty good chance to get out. Again, he's too far in. Okay, both feet don't need to be inside the elbow. He just needs 1 foot on the elbow right here, okay, to be in the gaps defensively. But also, again, let's zoom in on the player here, all right? When this skip pass gets made, he's not doing whatever he can to get out. He's going to gamble. Look at this. See that gamble? Now you're not getting out to the three-point line. Right here, it should just be as soon as this pass gets made, fly out to the three-point line. But you gamble like that, so now you're late to get out. You draw help from somewhere else, and it leads to an open catch and shoot three. Again, it's stunt and recover, not gamble and recover. Right here, all right? James Harden's here. All you got to do is just jab at this, right? Stunt. Get the dribble picked up. Give this player a better chance to play him one-on-one so his dribble's picked up right now. The problem is this player's going to gamble. It's not, instead of stunt, recover, it's gamble here. Look at him gamble. See how he keeps his hand? See how he keeps his hand in the ball? So now look at that. Now it's going to lead to a two-shot foul. Again, all we want is his dribble picked up. So right here, okay, all we want is his dribble picked up. So right now when he comes this way, I can just jab at this, get the dribble picked up, and recover back out. But again, look what happens when you gamble, okay? And you don't stunt. See how you keep your hand in the cookie jar there? It's going to lead to a 2-shot foul. You have to have backside help when you run any type of ball screen defense like drop coverage, hedging, icing. Okay, this is why I hate drop coverage. Because what's this player going to do? If he moves over here, either this player is going to be open or this player is going to have to sink down. And now this passing angle is very easy to the corner for a catch-and-shoot 3. So when you have no backside help, this happens. Dunk. Okay, so what would I do? All right? Right now, ball screen gets set. I'm up. Right? I'm pushing this player out towards half court. This guard's coming over here, okay, to close up the middle so he can't split through. Now my backside defender can get really aggressive in this backside help because we're pushing this player away. This passing angle is much more difficult from all the way out there, okay? This player can kind of slide over here and occupy these two players 2 passes away and rotate on the air time of that. If there's a skip pass made, I'll have plenty of time to rotate on the air time of that pass. But you've got to get backside help, okay? And when you run drop coverage, it's a lot more difficult to get backside help, so it's a dunk. If you're going under a ball screen, you always jam the screener. Right here, okay, if this player's going under, just jam the screener. And now he's going to be easily able to get on the other side. But look what happens when you don't jam the screener. Look at how far under he has to go. So now this player's going to have to show, and you're just leaving Joel Embiid wide open here. And look at how he sags. He's late. Well, he's late to get over. So there's this much space. With Joel Embiid, that's death, okay? You're going to be giving up something. And here it's a 2-shot foul. Now, the other way you can defend this, of course, is if you're this big, where, okay, this player can't be hugging the 3-point line. Get to around the elbow and force Joel Embiid this way so I can stunt and get his dribble picked up early and recover. Okay, when you send him this way, you send him away from where your gap help should be. Okay, but you should never be late to get over to Joel Embiid here because, again, we back it up now. You're just jamming the screener. This player's going under, and you're able to just stay with Joel Embiid when he goes this way. But you don't jam the screener. You're late to get over to Joel Embiid, and it's a 2-shot foul. Horrible transition defense. Where is the communication? All right, so look at this. Like right now, you've got Cedi Osman can't be getting back to random spots on the floor. Okay, this player's got Joel Embiid. Fine, you got to take this guy here. Okay, and this player's got to communicate. Like I got 2 guys over here, and there's only one of me. So right now, Kevin Love knows. Okay, either Cedi Osman takes this player. Okay, so Kevin Love can sprint over to get to that second guy, or Kevin Love says, I got the ball, and Cedi Osman can sprint over to that second guy. But look at how long it takes anybody to move to the weak side of the floor where we have a 2-on-1. Everyone's just standing around, and it's going to eventually lead to a 2-shot foul for Philadelphia. Horrible box out here by Kevin Love, or I should say there is no box out. So look at Tobias Harris's 3 here. Okay, it goes up. What is Kevin Love? The shot's up. Find the nearest man, which is James Harden. Get into his jersey with a wide base. Box him out so he has no chance of getting the rebound. Look what happens. No box out whatsoever, so now you let James Harden get an offensive rebound. Okay, so now it's communication. There should never have been an offensive rebound there, but okay. Someone's got to sprint out to James Harden. Okay, communicate. Lauri Markkanen, you got James Harden. Or if Lauri Markkanen say Kevin Love, you get James Harden. Then sprint out. Okay? We cannot have 3 people standing here while James Harden just goes to the 3-point line and takes a 3. But it's an offensive rebound that should never happen. Then there's no communication after that, so it's just a wide open 3. If you're trapping a ball screen, you got to get your hands up, okay? Like right here, look at Cedi Osman. Perfect, okay? But now you got to rotate, okay? And Kevin Love needs to get his hands up because if trapping a ball screen is very risky because if they pass out of it, you're in a lot of trouble. So you have to rotate to 1 pass away here. You have to rotate 1 pass away here. So those options aren't there for James Harden right now. Okay? And then this player here can get up the line a little bit and occupy these two players 2 passes away. But Kevin Love, just get your hands up. You're trapping. Hands up. Do not let him pass out of it. Okay? But look what Kevin Love's going to do. He's going to gamble. And with the 76ers and the bonus, that's even worse. Okay? So the rotations aren't there. Kevin Love doesn't have his hands up in this trap. He's gambling. And look what happens. It's going to be a 2-shot foul for Philadelphia. Drop coverage is just so awful. Look at this. Look at this. Look, you're just letting this pocket pass through, and you're giving Joel Embiid a free lane to get right to the rim. What do you think's going to happen? It's going to end up being a 2-shot foul. Okay? So stop in drop coverage. Here it comes right here. Up. Okay? Right now, I'm hedging. I'm pushing this player away. I'm keeping him out of the lane. And again, now my backside help can get aggressive right here. Okay, this player can come up all the way here. This player can easily can sink down a little bit and occupy these two players 2 passes away. Again, a skip pass is very hard to make, so I'm pushing James Harden out this way, right, with 4 different arms in his face. Okay, so you're making that skip pass a lot harder to make, which allows my backside help to be aggressive, so Joel Embiid doesn't catch the ball. You cannot let the roll man catch the ball. Okay, when you're running drop coverage, icing, hedging. Okay, but here we want to hedge. Okay, so our backside defender can get aggressive and stop Joel Embiid here, and now we're forcing a skip pass somewhere. Okay, or a pass over here to just reset the offense. But when you're in drop coverage, look at this. You just give Joel Embiid a free lane to the rim and a 2-shot foul. Drop coverage can really destroy you. I mean, look at this right here. Again, you're in drop coverage. You drop the big. You fight over the top. So look at how far. Look at this big. Look how far he has to drop. Okay? Even, like, this really should be an X out. Okay? If the ball gets swung here, this player moves up here, and then this player just goes there. Okay? Because stunting in this backside is not going to do anything. If he's up the line and stunts, this player has so far to go, it's not going to matter, right? If he's up and stunts when Joel Embiid catches his ball and then recovers, you're still probably not going to give this player enough time to get back. So, again, but there's none of that. There's no backside help whatsoever. That big has obviously no time to get back out, so it's an open catch-and-shoot 3. So, again, hedge, stop, drop coverage, up. Push this player away here. Now this backside defender can get really aggressive. If a skip pass is made with 4 different arms in his face right here, you can easily then recover back to your man. But you've got to have backside help. If you're running drop coverage, if you're icing, hedging, when you don't have backside help at all, this happens. Wide open catch and shoot 3. Always bring your man to the middle of the floor, especially James Harden. Right now, your body should be angled toward so that he can only go to the middle of the floor because there's no place for him to go. I got a gap defender right here. This player's got to be calling out, I'm in help, I'm in help, I'm in help, right? So that he can just kind of jab and recover. He should probably be up the line a little bit, okay? So right here, again, jab, recover. Bring him into the teeth of your defense right here. Okay? But when you allow him to go away from the middle of the floor, away from gap help, okay, now look. Now you're forced to just guard him one-on-one, and it's going to lead to a 2-shot foul. Couple mistakes here. So this player's just getting back to a random spot on the floor. You got to find a body. This player's taking the ball. Easy to see where he should be going. Out here to guard Joel Embiid. Okay, but because he's just getting back to a random spot on the floor, look at how much space you're giving Joel Embiid. That can never happen, okay? Because now he's just going to get right to the rim for 2. So if this player does what he's supposed to do right now, moves over and says, I got Embiid, okay, and you guard him at the 3-point line like you're supposed to, okay? Look at this. Now when Joel Embiid catches this, I'm right up in his grill, okay? Now, also, what on earth is this player doing? Back to the sideline? No. Back to the baseline, okay? You can take another step in right here, okay, so that when Joel Embiid comes this way, I can stunt, get his dribble picked up right here, okay? I can easily just jab because I'm already there, right? It's all about footwork. Stunt, recover without taking your feet inward. You'll easily be able to get out to the 3-point line on the air time of that pass because I'm already there, right? I'm right here, and my back is to the baseline, okay? And I'm in the gaps. But you can't give this much space to Embiid. You can't be defending like this away from the ball. So instead of getting Joel Embiid's dribble picked up out here, where does it get picked up? Inside, I mean, at this point, inside, almost at the charge circle. So yeah, you're finished at that point. It's 2 points. And Joel Embiid dictate way too much space here. Like right now, you're guarding Joel Embiid. You got to be up on him, pushing him, battling for real estate early. With Joel Embiid, it's all about where he catches the ball. So right now, look at this. I'm moving him out. I'm pushing. I'm doing whatever I can to get him out of the block. Okay? Because look what happens. You're not pushing him out at all. You're letting him dictate the real estate that he gets. So look what happens. Look at this. You're just allowing it. Look where he's catching it. He's catching this on the block. And you're like at that point you're done. And what do we have? 2-shot foul. Again, back it up. Okay. Right now you know you're guarding Joel Embiid. Get up. Battle for real estate early. The further he catches the ball out, the better. Then we can get our gap defense. We can dig in the post. But when you don't battle for real estate at all, look what happens. Now he's catching the ball right on the block. And at that point, it's over. It's going to be a 2-shot foul. Again, you have to bring Joel Embiid to the middle of the floor right here. Angle your body, take him to the middle of the floor where I have help in the gap here and should have help in the gap here. There's no place for him to go. When you let him go this way, you take him away from your gap help, and now you're just left on an island one-on-one, and it's going to be a 2-shot foul. Horrible communication and transition. Why are 2 people going this? Look at this. Okay, this player is guarding the ball. You got to get up, and you're not getting back to random spots on the floor. You got to get back to a body. This player has to get to a body. This player is getting to a body. Lauri Markkanen's, Joel Embiid's coming this way, okay? Find him. That's your responsibility. But where's Lauri Markkanen going? We got 2 people going to the ball. No one taking Joel Embiid right here, as you can see, just entering your picture. And it's just going to lead to Joel Embiid catching and getting right into the lane for a 2-shot foul. Why are you sagging off Joel Embiid? First of all, if he wants to take it to the basket, now you've just given him an easy runway here to get to the basket. You don't need to sag off him. Get up. Force him to the gap, to the middle of the floor, where I have gap help right here. Okay? But you sag off him, and what? Open catch and shoot 3. I hate drop coverage. Look again what happens here. You got to have backside help when you run drop coverage. So this player's got to step up aggressively, okay? And then this player, I guess, has to slide in. But this pocket pass is just way too easy because you're in drop coverage. So it's just drop to Embiid, backside help is late, and it's just going to lead now to a pass to where the backside help defender's man came from for a layup. So please, stop running drop coverage. Get up. Push this guard out towards half court. Now the backside help is easy. It's just, I just step up right there. And that, right? And now I push this guard out towards half court. I have 4 different arms in his face, okay? And it's just an easy tag and backside help and recover, okay? But you run drop coverage, and look at how easy this is. Pocket pass there, backside help is late, layup. Horrible communication and transition. Why are 2 people guarding the ball? One of these 2 Cavaliers players has got to say, I got ball, so I got Joel Embiid, who's out of your picture right now, okay? Or I got ball, and I got him, and I got this player, okay? You have to communicate, because in transition, you cannot have 2 people guarding 1 player. So no one's going to end up guarding him. 2 people go to the ball. No one takes Embiid, so that player has to rotate to a wide open 3. And in transition, you're not getting back to random spots on the floor. Now, you can't see it yet, but look, what is this player doing standing here? He should be, like, back now. He should be out towards that man. You got to find a body. You don't get back to random spots on the floor. You get back to bodies. So right here, instead of being near the charge circle, he should be already finding a body and already ready to guard. But now he's got to sprint to get out, so he's going to give up an and one. Multiple mistakes made in transition. You never backpedal, okay? Why is Lauri Markkanen just getting back to a random spot on the floor? Find a body to guard, right? Right now, Lauri Markkanen should already be up here, okay? Now, number two is we're going to backtrack and look at this player right here. Why is he lollygagging back? Doesn't matter where your man is. You got to sprint back so that you're right here. So I'm in the gaps. So Lauri Markkanen can force him to the middle, and there's no place for him to go. But Lauri Markkanen's backpedaling because he's just getting back to a spot, not a body. This player here, as you can see, is not sprinting to get back to the three-point line to be in the gaps, so it leads to a wide-open layup. Again, the awfulness with drop coverage. Look what happens. So you drop the big here when they make this pocket pass on a pick and pop to Joel Embiid. Look at how far this player has to recover from. Well, he's going to have to sprint all the way out here. That's never going to happen. Okay, so he gets bit with a pump fake, and it's a dunk. So again, we'll look what happens, what you should be doing. Hedge, up, push this guard towards half court. This guard closes this middle space so he can't split through. Okay, but now my backside help can get aggressive right here on Joel Embiid. So this pass can't get made, right? Because this guard now is all the way out towards half court. This player can kind of get up, okay? If a pass gets made on a pick and pop, he can just kind of stunt to give this player time to recover back. Or he can get up, okay? And assuming a skip pass isn't made with 4 different arms in his face all the way here, it should just be up, and then he should be easily able to recover, because as soon as this guard hesitates, picks up his dribble, brings his dribble back this way, the big can then start to recover back onto Joel Embiid. But drop coverage is just atrocious, because look how wide open Embiid is, and then you can't get out to him, so it's a dunk. You can't sag on Joel Embiid for multiple reasons, okay? One, I'm giving him way too easy of a runway. Way too easy of a runway. You cannot sag on Joel Embiid, okay? So that he doesn't have an easier path to the lane. But two, he's a good three-point shooter, as shown multiple times in this game. So again, you're not sagging. You're not sagging. You're up, okay? And where are you forcing him? To the middle of the floor, where the teeth of your defense is. Look at this. I got a gap defender right here. If I force him towards the middle of the floor, okay, look at this. There's no place for him to go, right? I can stunt. I can recover, okay? But again, you sag off Embiid. You don't force him to the teeth of your defense. You're just sagging off of him, and you're giving him a 3. Top coverage is absolutely terrible. When you run an empty side ball screen, you're just giving up a 2-on-1. This player's behind the play. So now this big is left guarding the ball and the roll man. So you put him in an impossible spot. And what happens? Pocket pass is made, and it leads to a 2-shot foul. Okay, so again, we go over this all the time. Keep this guard out of the lane. Hedge. Push him this way, right? Now my backside help can get aggressive. This player can sink down here and occupy these 2 players 2 passes away. But why am I just giving up a 2-on-1 with an empty side ball screen? That's literally what happens here, okay? And it's going to lead to a 2-shot foul for Philadelphia. This is why you have to send Joel Embiid to the middle of the floor, okay, right here. Do not let him go this way. All right, I got a post dig right here. Force him to the middle of the floor, and I can stunt, and I can recover easily. And his dribble's picked up out here, okay? But look what happens. You don't force him to where your post dig is, to where your gap help is. You don't force him to the middle of the floor where the teeth of your defense is. So now look. Now this player here has to come help at the rim. This player then has to help the helper here, so there's nobody to take this man in the corner, and it's just going to lead to a wide open catch and shoot 3. Got to battle for real estate early with Joel Embiid. There can't be this separation. You've got to be pushing him out of the lane, pushing him out. Battle for real estate early. Look at even right here. Why are you just letting Joel Embiid here do whatever he wants? You should be battling for real estate, pushing him out of the paint. Because when you don't do that, this happens. Look what Joel Embiid does. Look at that. Quick post seal right here. Now you're done. Okay? And now it's going to end up leading to a two-shot foul. Okay, if you're switching, there's no reason to sag here. Look at this. Get up. I got gap defenders everywhere. I got one here, and because this player switched underneath, I got one here. There's no place for him to go. So you can't be backpedaling and sagging because you're just letting him walk right into a wide open three. Again, when you switch this ball screen, boom, up, ready to guard, okay? And again, I can get beat because I got gap help here, gap help here. But instead you sag, wide open three. Absolutely horrendous ball screen defense. Why are you not just switching this, all right? Screen coming, switch, switch, switch. I'm underneath. Kevin Love then goes with the ball handler. Look what happens. We got two people going towards the ball handler. Kevin Love is late to then come over here. So now Danny Green's able to just get it. Pump fake in the lane, easy two. Awful. Horrible ball screen defense right here. What are you doing? If you're in drop coverage, Lauri Markkanen has to drop underneath the ball until this guard fighting over the top has time to get over the top. Where's Lauri Markkanen is not underneath the ball. So what do you think is going to happen? It's just going to be a wide open layup for James Harden. Drop coverage is the worst ball screen defense ever. Look what happens here. Okay, this player is got to fight over the top of the screen. This big drops. You've got to have backside help here. I mean, you put this backside defender in a horrible spot because, again, look at, if this player does commit all the way to backside help, this skip pass is so easy to make. But you got to have backside help or that happens. Okay? So, again, I would obviously do what? I would hedge to close off the passing angles. Up. Big as up. We're pushing them this way. We're closing up this middle here. Okay? And now this backside defender can get really aggressive because if a skip pass gets made all the way from out there, I can easily recover in time. But you run this stupid drop coverage, and that happens. This is the issue with fronting the post, is if they flash to the foul line and go high-low, you're screwed. Look at this. They're going to go to the foul line. So now this backside defender who wasn't backside help has to leave. And now this lob pass over the top to Embiid is right there, and it's going to lead to a layup. So, again, fronting is always dangerous. All right? So let's back it up right here. Like, here, right now, if you're Lauri Markkanen, get Joel Embiid, battle for ground now. Battle for real estate now. Push him out of the lane, out of the paint. Okay? You don't have to front the post. Just make him catch the ball as far away as possible. But when you front the post, again, you're susceptible to this. See, you have a backside defender, but this player is going to flash to the free throw line, and then it just becomes an easy high-low and eventually a layup. If you're running drop coverage, you've got to stay underneath the guard. Look at this. You cannot just give up the lane like this because now he's all the way in. And look, you have to go contest at the rim, so there's nobody to box out Joel Embiid, so he's just going to get it, and it's an easy putback. So, I mean, again, you got to stay underneath. This guard, you got to stay underneath. This player's got to get in backside help, okay? And I don't know what you do about the corner. That's why what I would do is hedge. Again, look, ball screen happens right here, okay? Boom, the big is up. And I'm not giving up the lane. In fact, I'm pushing him away from it towards half court, right? And now this backside defender can get as aggressive as he needs to because now this ball handler's all the way out here. If a skip pass is made, he'll easily be able on the airtime of that pass to recover. Okay, but when you run drop coverage, it's just difficult. This is not how you run drop coverage because the big needs to get underneath. Okay, but when he goes to contest at the rim, there's no one to box out Embiid. See, this is the problem with drop coverage. So again, you drop the big, you fight over the top. Look at how easy this passing angle is. This backside defender is going to step up. But because James Harden's all the way in the lane here, he's just going to easily drop it off to the backside help players, man. okay? And it leads to a layup. Again, look at how much different the passing angle is, okay? The big is up. You're pushing him this way, okay? And now this player can get in backside help aggressively because James Harden now is being pushed towards the sideline, pushed towards half court. And now we can get in backside help right here, and if a skip pass is made, he should be plenty able to recover in time. But when you give up the lane, look at this. You have to have backside help, because if this pocket pass gets made without backside help, it's going to be 2. But the problem is, because he's in the lane and this backside defender steps up, then it just becomes an easy layup right here for the backside defender's man, and it's a layup. Too far in, right here again. What are you doing right here? Okay, this is ball. Where's the ball? It's at the top of the key. You are not supposed to be all the way over here. Okay? Again, shell drill. Where are you supposed to be? Much closer to the elbow right here, because you're still in the gaps. If this player comes this way, you can jab and recover. But when you're not near the elbow, when you're all the way up here, not even parallel to the elbow, that's too much. That's too far over. Because again, we're in drop coverage, so this big's underneath the ball. You don't really need to even be in the gaps, but if you were to be in the gaps, you'd want to be right at about here, much closer to the elbow, like in the shell drill, right? Stunt, stunt, recover, okay? But you're too far over, so now you're never going to be able to get back out, and it forces help, and it's going to lead to an and one. Whenever you run a ball screen defense, you have, whether it's drop coverage, hedging, icing, you have to have backside help. Okay, look at this. No backside help on Embiid. So what do you think's going to happen? Pocket pass, dunk. Okay, this is why, again, for the 1,000,000th time, I'd hedge. Okay, first of all, I'm closing off this lane right here, okay, so that James Harden can't split through, and this big's up, and he's pushing him towards half court. Now my backside defender could get aggressive right here on Joel Embiid's roll, take out his roll, okay, and if a skip pass is made all the way over here, I have plenty of time to recover. But you run drop coverage where you put these backside defenders in terrible spots, and there's no backside help on Joel Embiid, so it's just a pocket pass to a dunk. This is an awful ball screen to switch, okay? Look at this ball. Look at your switch. You're switching Lowry Markkanen onto James Harden, okay? I mean, he's going to literally get put on figure skates right here, and it's going to lead to help and eventually an and one. So, again, don't switch Lowry Markkanen onto James Harden. You have a lot of options here, okay? One, you can get up and jam the screener so this player can easily go under and meet James Harden on the other side. Or, of course, you can always hedge. Push him out of the lane. Backside help is easy right here. Okay, you can get in backside help. If a skip pass is made here, it'll easily be able to recover, and you're fine. But you switch Lowry Markkanen on James Harden, and I mean, this is just Lowry Markkanen getting put on figure skates because he can't guard on the perimeter James Harden, and it's going to lead to an and one. Gotta stop switching Lowry Markkanen onto James Harden. We just saw him get put on skates the prior possession, and he's going to get put on skates again here in this possession. Look at this. He cannot guard on the perimeter. All right, he's going to turn the corner and get right to the basket for a two-shot foul. Okay? So, again, you can't stop switching this. Okay? Right here, what do? Okay? You can either... Well, right here I'd hedge. This is an easy hedge, right? Keep James Harden out of the lane. Backside help right here on Joel Embiid. If a skip pass gets made here, I'm easily able to recover, and I'm able to keep Lowry Markkanen onto Embiid, and I'm able to keep this guard onto James Harden, okay? But you switch this screen. We just saw Lowry Markkanen get put on skates guarding James Harden one-on-one, and it's going to happen just like before. Okay, he's going to get into the lane, and it's a two-shot foul. Okay, so you really got to stop switching Lowry Markkanen onto James Harden here. We just saw him get put on skates in the prior possession. It's going to happen again. Okay, look at this. He cannot cover him one-on-one on the perimeter. Are you kidding me? It's going to lead to a two-shot foul. So, okay, what would I, first of all, let's talk about what I would do. Okay, I'm not switching Lauri Markkanen onto James Harden. I'm hedging, pushing James Harden out towards half court. Easy backside help right here. If a skip pass is made all the way there, easy recovery. Okay, but if you are going to switch Lauri Markkanen onto James Harden, you've got to be heavily, heavily in the gaps. Okay, and so this defender right here is perfect. Look at this. Back to the baseline, he's there. When James Harden turns the corner, you stunt. Dribble gets picked up out beyond the free throw line. Okay? Stunt. I don't have to move my feet inward so I can easily recover back outward. Okay? But look at this. This player's going to go from being in the gaps to not being in the gaps because he's going, look how close he is to the three-point line now. So now you're leaving Lauri Markkanen one-on-one with James Harden, which can never, ever happen, and it's a two-shot foul. So the broadcast does a terrible job of showing what's going on, but this is a sideline out of bounds. Now, I don't know how this is how this ended up, but it can't happen. You cannot front the post off of a sideline out of bounds with the way everyone's positioned on the floor. Okay? Like this player, this player's got to be earlier on battling for real estate, pushing him out of the lane right here. This can't be how it looks. There's no way possible this can be how it looks out of a sideline out of bounds. You fronting the post where there's absolutely no backside help this way. Okay? You got to battle for real estate early. You cannot allow yourself to be in this position. You always have to, and you have to keep your back to the baseline so that I'm always nudging them out, battling for every inch of real estate. But when you front the post out of a sideline out of bounds with no backside help, it's just a disaster. And there you go, two-shot foul. So you yet again switch Lauri Markkanen onto James Harden. I would never in a million years do that, okay? I'd be up and I'd be hedging, pushing him to half court. This player can get aggressive and backside help. If a skip pass is made all the way there, I can easily recover, and I keep the matchups the way they are. Lauri Markkanen guarding Embiid, and the guard guarding the ball handler, guarding the ball handler. Okay? But if you do switch Lauri Markkanen onto James Harden, you have got to be heavily in the gaps. And this is not good enough. Okay? The ball's at the top of the key. Where should you be? Right at the elbow. So when James Harden comes this way, I can jab and get his dribble picked up early, giving Lauri Markkanen a little bit easier chance to guard him one-on-one. Jab, recover. But you switch Lauri Markkanen on James Harden, which the entire fourth quarter he's put him on skates, and again you're not heavy in the gaps. So what happens? James Harden just drives right by him, and it's an easy two.